So where does Safe Haven fit into your body of work to date?
Oh gosh, well, it's my 8th film that's been adapted from my novels. It's the most recent film, and it is the first film with a real strong thriller element. I think it's going to catch some viewers by surprise. Just when they think they know what they're going to expect, it all shifts, and I think people are going to walk out of those theaters talking about that film, especially toward the end, because there's some twists and turns along the way that they just probably didn't expect.
Tell me about the film's central theme and like what makes that so relatable.
The theme is starting over, second chances. I think that's really the theme of this film, you know, because there's a lot going on here. You know, you've got people falling in love, so is that the theme? Or is it someone trying to come to terms with their past? Is that the theme? Really, it's about second chances, and it's second chances for both Alex and Katie, as played by Josh Duhamel and Julianne Hough, right? He's a widower, he's lost his wife, he's now living this life he never really expected, and he's been focused in on doing the best he can for his kids and running his job, and yet there's an emptiness there, and in walks Katie, Julianne Hough. She's got her own past too, and she too wants to start over.
And you have like these two amazing actors, you know, playing these roles. So how are Josh and Julianne the perfect two actors to bring these two guys to life?
You know, what you're looking for in any one of these films is an amazing chemistry, and certainly Josh and Julianne have that. You'll see them on screen and they just light up, and that's the other thing you want, is you want someone to really light up, and you want an emotional depth to their performances that really make the viewers feel that they know these people, that they are experiencing what the characters are experiencing. And I think Josh and Julianne pulled that together wonderfully, and it sets up the film for the ride the rest of the way that'll take you home, so to speak.
And the other component is Lasse Hallström, and talk about working with him.
You know, Lasse Hallström and I first teamed up to do Dear John, and of course we worked with Marty Bowen, and it was a terrific relationship. Now by this film there was a shorthand version of the way we could work together. There was a lot more, I guess, familiarity and trust. For instance, if Lasse films a scene and you see something that, oh man, maybe I should tell Lasse to try something different, have her standing instead of sitting or something. You've learned now by this film that you can sit back, and that 9 times out of 10, Lasse saw that as well. So it made for a really smooth experience where he could work with the actors and get everything he wanted because he wasn't worried about what the producers were doing behind the scenes.
That's great. And in all the behind-the-scenes footage that I've seen, it seems like the entire group just had so much fun down there, and you guys all got along. Tell me about just the overall experience of filming down in Southport.
This is great. You know, the attitude of Southport permeated the set. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. I mean, this is a small southern town at the end of a road, basically, out in the middle of nowhere, so to speak, where the days seem little longer, time seems to move a little more slowly. People talk a little slower, they walk a little slower. It's just kind of that, it imbues a feeling of peace and serenity, and that drifted up through the set, and I think it made Southport become a character in and of itself in the film.
And I think this is your first film that you've actually, you know, where the location is the setting in the film, so is that something that adds to the authenticity of the story? And
I think it does, and it really, Nights in Rodanthe did have the house was actually in Rodanthe, so parts of Nights in Rodanthe were filmed in Rodanthe, but to me, it does make a difference, because the coast of North Carolina is different than the coast of South Carolina or Georgia or Louisiana, other places where my films have been shot. In some ways, I don't think most people in the audience would ever pick up on these changes, but those of us who know the North Carolina coast are very familiar with what it's exactly like. A great example is, of course, the rocky cliffs in Message in a Bottle of the North Carolina coast. Big hint, there are no rocky cliffs in North Carolina. Or how about Ryan and Rachel in the ocean, where he says, you know, if you're a bird, I'm a bird. This great romantic scene. There's no rocks like that. So, you know, the people who are there, you know, it's North Carolina coast is a place in and of itself.
That's great. And what can we look forward to seeing from you next?
Well, I've got another film slated to begin filming within the next few months. It's The Best of Me. That'll be Warner Brothers. Got a few television shows in development. You don't know whether they'll be picked up or whatever, but we'll be doing that through the spring as well. Of course, working on another novel. Have another novel I just finished up, so it'll be a busy year.
You're a busy man.
Yeah.